Whenever I need to send roses that are guaranteed to make someone's day, the only place I trust is 1-800-Flowers.com. With 1-800-Flowers, my friends and family always receive stunning, high-quality bouquets that they absolutely love. Right now, when you buy a dozen multicolored roses, 1-800-Flowers will double your bouquet to 2 dozen roses. To claim this special double roses offer, go to 1-800-Flowers.com/WWO. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/WWO.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Elan's Matchup Maximizer, a podcast presented by Kevin Carlson, where I, Elan Dubrovsky, take a look at next week's NHL schedule to try to figure out who are the teams we should be targeting and players on those teams to maximize the number of good games played we'll be getting from our streaming spots for next week's head-to-head matchup. Name of the game here, we're looking for teams that play a lot, but especially on light days. We don't want to add someone on that's playing on a Saturday when you're already going to be full on Saturday. So you're just adding someone to sit on your bench. Now we got to look at the schedule and focus on teams with those good off day but quantity schedules. We're looking at week 7 on Yahoo, November 17th to November 23rd. We could also be looking at it on other platforms, but it's week 7 on Yahoo, and hopefully everyone's doing well. We're getting to the middle part of the season where, I don't know, like maybe you're starting to figure out if, like, are you like way at the top of your league and you don't need to be focusing so much on like a specific week. Maybe you're starting to build a roster looking at the fantasy playoffs. Maybe you're desperate and like you need to win next week and you may have to drop like a really good player on a bad team because like it's a must-win week. Like, for example, Nashville plays once next week. I mean, you're not dropping Philip Forsberg, but maybe like anyone else, you're like, I don't know if I can just hold my Nashville player just for the one Saturday game against Colorado. So these are some tough decisions you have to be making. But I'm here to look at the good schedules and try to help you out here. And the schedule next week, pretty standard. We've got a busy Thursday, Saturday, a pretty light Tuesday, only 16 teams playing. So I'm going to consider that a light day. And then, light Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So basically, we're trying to avoid the Thursday, Saturday, if possible. There are 3 teams that play 4 times, avoiding the Thursday and the Saturday. They are the Carolina Hurricanes, the Buffalo Sabres, and the Boston Bruins, all the teams at the top of the alphabet. So let's start with Carolina. They've got our classic Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. I like getting 4 games all on off days. Ideally, if you can get 4 games, like not including the Sunday. I'm starting to realize that having that Sunday is almost like this past week, if you recall, the Islanders had the best schedule. I streamed in Anders Lee like a week in advance. I saw him in FA. I thought this is a great schedule. He seems pretty solid. It's been painful, guys. Like I had him Monday, nothing, Thursday, nothing. Now Friday. Now it's like I still have this game Sunday to like really get the most of this ad. It's like, what do I need another 0 points game? So I like, if I'm streaming someone, I'd almost prefer it to be someone that I can drop earlier, and I might just drop him anyway. Something to consider. But anyways, these 4 teams, or these 3 teams that I just said, 4 off day games they all include the Sunday. But maybe you'll just hold for the first 3 and then move on before the weekend. Like once you get to, like for Anders Lee, for example, I could drop him now for someone playing Saturday, Sunday, theoretically, and get 2 games, like for that last roster spot. Right. Anyway. Okay. Let's look into next week. So Carolina, let's start there. This is a team that's changed a lot in the past few weeks in terms of there was a point where Andrei Svechnikov was letting everybody down. It was like, is he even worth holding? I hope you held. He's awesome. That's more of a mega show topic because now you're definitely not getting Svechnikov out of free agency, especially after his 2-goal, 1-assist game versus Vancouver yesterday. But who could you stream on Carolina to get those 4 off-day games? Like, not Svech, not Ehlers, Aho, Jarvis. Well, Jarvis is hurt anyways. Gostisbehere, he's looking awesome. You're not going to be able to get him, I'd imagine. If you're in a very shallow league, you can get Keandre Miller. Definitely jump on that. He's been great. I guess no points in his last 2, but lots of shots, lots of hits. And before that, he had a 3-game point streak after coming back from injury. Okay, you're not going to get him probably. So then we're looking at like Jackson Blake, only 11% rostered. I'd be all over Jackson Blake. Like, okay, and maybe that's a little bit strong saying all over, but I think that Blake is the type of guy that's like getting a good spot in the lineup. Like he's been playing on the line with Ehlers and Stankoven with Aho and Svechnikov playing together with, it was Jarvis, and then I guess Taylor Hall a bit in the last game after Jarvis went down. So yeah, Jackson Blake I feel like is decent enough. He also looks like Blake got top power play with Jarvis out. So yeah, that's a slam dunk if you can get him for a 4-game week, and then we'll see how long Jarvis is injured for. We'll cover that again on the Mega Show for sure. Then I guess, yeah, if Taylor Hall is going to be on the top line with Aho and Svechnikov, I guess that's a decent enough stream. He scored a goal yesterday on 2 shots against Vancouver. I don't hate that. By the way, I'm recording this Saturday afternoon. It's around 2:50, so there haven't been any Saturday games yet. So you will be able to see what happens with Carolina today. Obviously, this is a team that's notorious for changing up their lines. So who knows if even the lines I'm saying are going to hold, like, you know, through today's game, let alone for all 4 games next week. Maybe a safer bet is to just grab a D. Sean Walker, I mean, obviously not as exciting now that he's not on the top power play, now that Miller and Gossesbear are back, but he's still getting big minutes. Sean Walker played 25 minutes and a half yesterday in that win over Vancouver in overtime. 4 shots, a hit, no points, but 4 shots. If he keeps doing that, 1 or 2 is going to go in every once in a while, or maybe a rebound and someone else scores. You know how it works. Like, I feel like that's a good recipe. So I'll take 4 games of Sean Walker, and then maybe he ends up being a hold for even longer, depending how deep your league is. So I think those are the main targets over on Carolina, based on the lines now that you might be able to get less than 20% rostered. Once again, Jackson Blake, Taylor Hall, Sean Walker, and yeah, that's Carolina. Let's go next to the Buffalo Sabres, a team that has been having a lot of trouble with injuries, and now their lines are always kind of weird. Looks like in their last game, they were rolling with Tage Thompson back at center, centering Tuck and McLeod. So you're not going to get Tage, you're not going to get Tuck in any league. Everyone else is probably available for you. Is Ryan McLeod interesting? The problem is, like, even with he's been on the top line for a little bit, not doing anything with it. So I don't see a reason. Like, when's Zach Benson coming back already? That's really the question. Like, if Benson is available and he's... Okay, I do not see Benson on the ice. I'm looking at a tweet from earlier in the week. Suggested he had decided if the Wing was going to take the road trip with the team. I don't know. Pay attention to the news to see, because he's only supposed to miss like a week. So Buffalo plays Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So same schedule as Carolina. If Benson comes back, that could be like a really good ad. Maybe just add him now and stash him if you can. If he's out there for you, only 13% rostered, I wouldn't be surprised if he just gets right back to the top line with Tage Thompson. So that's a sure guy to grab. Based on like the lines I'm seeing and the stats recently for Buffalo, I'm going to be honest, everyone sucks. Like, Dahlin is back, so that's good. But, you know, that means any interest that we may have had in a Byram or an Owen Power, that goes down. Honestly, the only player that's like doing anything lately aside from Tage Thompson is Isaac Rosen, who, yeah, had 2 goals a couple games ago against Utah, had an assist on Thursday versus Colorado. We'll see how he does today against Detroit. So maybe at this point, Rosen is your guy. If you look at the lines, at least in the last game, Rosen was on the top power play with Thompson, Quinn, Ostlund. Noah Ostlund is there, and Bowen Byram. So Tuck can't even crack the top power play with Benson out. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe they know what they're doing. I don't think so, though. So yeah, we'll see how the lines shake up. But yeah, I think Rosen, if he's on the top power play, the even strength alignments aren't going to be anything to write home about. I guess in the last game it was Quinn and Ostlund. So yeah, Isaac Rosen's on a hot streak, so I got to mention it. That could be a decent enough ad. I'm going to add him right now to my watch list, actually. Someone to consider for an ad next week, because I do have one opening, and I'm weighing my options of who it's going to be, and maybe I'll talk about some of these options. But unfortunately, then I'm going to be blowing myself up for my league mates. But you know, first of all, it's my job. It's the oath I've made to as a hockey podcaster to potentially blow up my players that I'm interested in at my own peril, but also I think people are smart enough to know that they already have their plans in place in Tier 3 Young B. Okay, so that's the Buffalo Sabres. Again, like, I'm looking at Isaac Rosen, and like, basically, in Benson, if you can get him and if he plays. Then you have the Boston Bruins as the final team, also playing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, which is, again, like a great schedule, especially because you get those 3 games by Friday. You can always reassess before you hold all the way through that Sunday, since there'll be a lot of options on Saturday if you happen to have an opening on your roster. Who are we liking on Boston? Well, you're not going to get Pasternak, of course, but shout out to him, who now has goals in 3 straight. I drafted Austin Matthews, right? Like 6th overall in Cupful. I didn't even really consider Pasternak. Turns out he was definitely the pick there of who I should have taken in hindsight. But what are you going to do? You can't predict these things. Maybe Matthews will come back even stronger after his little injury. But anyways, the lines lately have been Pasternak with Geeky and still Marat Kuznetsov. How's Kuznetsov been doing, you may be wondering? Not that great. Like, nothing to write home about, unfortunately, even though he's been a top-line guy. He has 2 assists in his last 3 games, not too many shots, but depending on your format, maybe there's some value there. Hard to argue with a top-line guy for as long as Elias Lindholm is injured. I guess, okay, so obviously you're not going to get Pasternak, you're not going to get Geeky, you're not going to get McAvoy, you're not going to get Zacha, who's having a pretty, under-the-radar good season. He's got 3 goals in his last 5 games, but yeah, you're probably not going to get him. As far as who else you may be interested in, I talked about Victor Arvidsson last week as looking interesting, and now with this good schedule, yeah, Arvidsson had an assist in the last game, had a goal a couple games before that against Toronto. He's still on the top power play. He's your last guy that you're going to get that's a top power play player. I would definitely take Arvidsson over Kuznetsov at this point. So yeah, for Boston, and maybe even for all the players I've talked about, right? Because who did I talk about? Carolina, maybe a Jackson Blake. So I like him. Yeah, Blake and Arvidsson are pretty close. I think I'd take both of them over Isak Rosen. So I think Arvidsson might even be our streamer of the week, assuming he holds a top power play all week. And I don't see why he wouldn't. And then, yeah, look at Kuznetsov if you want a top-line guy. On that second line, it's been Zacha, Arvidsson, and at least in the last couple games, Alex Steeves. But who knows if that lasts. So I wouldn't be jumping on him. There's really no one else on Florida jumping out. On defense, Mason Lohrei had 3 assists in his last 3 games, but also is a risk of being scratched and plays low minutes. So I think that would be kind of a risky move. Hampus Lindholm is back. Had a couple good games. Generally, I don't expect much from Hampus Lindholm. So, but for the volume for 4 games. But I mean, if we're talking a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday schedule, maybe you can get a forward that has higher offensive upside for you. Okay, so those are the 3 teams that play 4 times on light days that you're going to basically be guaranteed 4 games from. There still are a few teams that play 3 light day games for you, and maybe a little bit earlier in the week, which could be helpful, though actually, spoiler, not really. But we'll look at some more teams after a quick break. The NBA season tips off, and so does DraftKings' newest fantasy game. DraftKings Pick 6 is the easiest way to play for big wins, with every possession giving you a shot at real money. Here's how to play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more stats and unlock the upside every game brings. Pick 6 is available in Texas, California, Missouri, and more. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball. Cash in! Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call, ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. In Connecticut, must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. The holidays are here, and that means it's the most wonderful time of the year to save with Rakuten. Rakuten, use them to stack cash back at your favorite stores on top of holiday sales. That's saving on savings. With Rakuten, you can get cash back on gifts for everyone on your list. From toys for the kids to kitchen gear for the person who loves to cook to electronics for everyone. You can even save on something for yourself. Just shop the stores you love and cash back is automatically added to your account. And you can choose to get paid via Interac, eTransfer, PayPal, or check. Join for free today and get a new member bonus after minimum qualifying purchases. Just go to Rakuten.ca, download the app, or install the browser extension. That's Rakuten. Spells Rakuten. Terms and conditions apply.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like aloe or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. With Shop Pay, that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts are going abandoned and way more sales happening. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whatever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The Who's Down in Who Newville were making their list, but some didn't know Walmart has the best brands for their gifts.
What about toys? Do they have brands kids have been wanting all year?
Yep, Barbie, Tony's, and Lego. Gifts that will make them all cheer.
Do you mean they have all the brands I adore?
They have Nintendo, Nespresso, Apple, and more.
What about...
So the Who answered questions from friends till they were blue. Each one listened and shouted, from Walmart? Who knew? Shop gifts from top brands for everyone on your list in the Walmart app.
All right, so now I'm going to go and look at some other teams with good schedules for this week 7. The next group will be teams playing 3 off-day games next week, so you're going to get that, but you're probably going to be benching one of their games. Let's go to the Calgary Flames. They go Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Saturday, Sunday. So that's not so bad, especially if you're able to consider just grabbing for the Tuesday, Wednesday to start, and then reassess after that. Maybe you don't need to hold for the weekend if your player is really letting you down. I got a name for you that I really like on Calgary, and his name is Matt Coronado, someone who I thought was draftable, would just be a season-long hold, and it didn't really work out that way to start the year, and he ended up getting healthy scratched even for a game. But Coronado, only 9% rostered on Yahoo, has taken a ton of shots lately, and you know that's what I love. Like his last 4 games, 11, 5, 6, and 4 shots. Only 1 goal to show for it. Unfortunately, this Calgary Flames team, just the team as a whole isn't scoring goals. But if someone's going to score, I feel like it's likely going to be Matt Coronado at this point. So I think now's a great time to grab him, especially if you're just like thinking, I'll take for the Tuesday, Wednesday, and then reassess after that. They're against Chicago and Buffalo, so Chicago's a tough team to score against nowadays with Spencer Knight. Buffalo, I think maybe something could happen. So I don't know. I really like Coronado at this point. I'd grab him. I have him on my couple team, and I don't consider him someone I'm like thinking of dropping after the Tuesday, Wednesday. Like he's not a streamer for me, but depending on your league, he may be a streamer for you. But I think he's a slam dunk, at least as a streamer. I would definitely take him over like an Arvidsson, even though Arvidsson gives that extra off-day game. But you're getting 3 off-day games from Coronado, but the potential to be a season-long hold, I think, if he keeps up these crazy shots. Some other options on Calgary, if you're in a shallow league, Jonathan Huberdeau's only 29% rostered. I like Huberdeau. I think he's probably a season hold in a lot of formats unless it's super shallow. So, but if it is a shallow league, then maybe you just grab the Tuesday, Wednesday from Huberdeau. In that case, maybe you're grabbing someone for the Monday, then switch over to Huberdeau Tuesday, Wednesday, and flip to someone else if you have some really awesome options like that. But yeah, aside from like an obvious person like a Huberdeau, yeah, it's like, look, Blake Coleman, he's like a reliable streamer. Like, and when I say reliable, I mean like you're probably getting something from Blake Coleman. If he doesn't give you a point, he should give you some hits. Maybe some shots would be nice. He did have like a couple nothing games recently, but he did score in the last game versus San Jose. And Coleman just generally he screams streamer, right? Like he doesn't feel like he's good enough to hold all season. Maybe in a categories league, he's worth holding with the hits. But like in general, he's not going to go on like huge runs for a long time. But I feel like if you're getting like a Tuesday, Wednesday, I think there's a good chance you're getting a point and maybe some good periffs. So yeah, go with Blake Coleman, I think. Aside from that, look, I can tell you the lines lately have been, in the last game at least, Kadri Farabee and Rory Cairns, who was called up from the minors. So that might even change if Cairns gets sent down. Farabee hasn't really done anything. Then you have Huberdeau, Frost, and Coronado. Frost hasn't done much. I think I would probably lean Frost playing with Huberdeau and Coronado versus Farabee. That's maybe just a gut feeling, but I think Morgan Frost has shown the ability to provide some offense. He had one good run this season where he had a 5-game point streak, and I like the line he's on. Also, he's on the top power play. I guess that's the other obvious reason. The top power play in the last game, Kadri, Huberdeau, Coronado, Frost, Rasmus Anderson. So yeah, to conclude, give me first Coronado, then Coleman, then Frost, again, assuming you can't get like a Huberdeau or someone like that. Okay, so that's the Calgary Flames. Next up, for teams that play 3 off-day games, we can go to Chicago, who go Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. So yeah, it's not amazing that you're only getting 1 game before Friday, assuming you can't fit your Chicago player on the Thursday. But it's a good end of week stream for the Friday, Sunday, and then you can get the Tuesday. I don't know. So it depends. Obviously, you have to check and see what you want to do there with Chicago, but it all adds up to 3 off-day games anyways. And you may have some interesting guys, especially if, people were letting go of their decent Blackhawks because of only a 2-game week this past week. Maybe now's your chance to pounce on someone who normally wouldn't even be available. Maybe you got to jump really soon. Like, I'm still way into Andre Burakovsky. He was dropped in like a couple division. I put a fab bid, but I got outbid by Team Stoof. I wish I bid more. I feel like you're locked in with top line, top power play, Connor Bedard, who's like among the league leaders. Like, how could you not want Burakovsky? So he's 25% rostered. I think your time's running out to get him, but maybe you still can. Tyler Bertuzzi's rostered like all over. I guess it just goes, makes sense with like 6 goals and 2 assists in his last 5 games at 4 games. Like, just an insane run for Bertuzzi. So you probably can't even get him. Nazar maybe was dropped. He's like day to day now. He's not going to play today, which is, by the way, for today, good news for like a Teuvo Teravainen, who then gets to go back to the top power play. Teravainen has 3 points in his last 2 games, I think, because he's been on the, getting the better deployment with Nazar out. So I'd imagine once Nazar's back, that shifts. Then I guess another big name I gotta mention, right, is Levshunov, Artem Levshunov. He's taken over on the top power play. He's getting a ton of assists. He's got 4 assists in his last 4 games. 7 assists in his last 8 games, depending how you want to count this up. So Levshunov, if he's going to take over, like Rinzel's old news, he's getting scratched today, actually. So unless it's going to be one of those things where Rinzel's scratched and then he comes back like super strong and goes right back to top power play, who knows? But I think Levshunov is also clear, especially if you need D. Maybe you can even fit him on the Thursday, and then you get 4 games. So I would consider Levshunov over like a Teravainen if you're deciding between the two. So yeah, as far as players under 25% rostered, I guess Burakovsky's right there, 25. Give me him first, then give me Levshunov, then give me Teravainen, and then I guess there is Ryan Donato, who I just don't have faith in Ryan Donato anymore. I'm sorry, he doesn't shoot much. He's getting bad deployment. Like, what's the reason? Like, yeah, he had a stretch where he scored some goals, but I just don't think it's worth banking on Donato at this point more than like any extremer level player who could maybe do something. Like, I'd take, for example, Blake Coleman over Donato, and Coleman's not even someone I'm like super confident in. He's going to have a lot of offense. All right, so that is the Chicago Blackhawks. I think we've pretty much covered the players who would be of interest to you. Once again, get Burakovsky, get Levshunov. Someone that's like a lock for that top power play is definitely someone I'd want, and then like a Teravainen after that. Okay, let's look now at the Minnesota Wild, who play Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So this is definitely the kind of stream that if you're really trying to maximize, you get someone who plays Monday, Tuesday, get a Utah Mammoth, they play Monday, Tuesday, or a Columbus Blue Jacket, and then switch over to Minnesota. That's a 5-game week with all off days. So that's your perfect way to play it. But so I can tell you the players on Minnesota that I'd be targeting, because of course, for it to be a perfect play, you need to also get like good games from players who are good. And yeah, it might be a little tricky at this point because Marco Rossi is hurt. He's on injured reserve. Do we have updated lines? Let me look right now and see if we have anything. I'll have this all ready for the mega show tomorrow. But yeah, it looks like Hartman has been on the top line in practice with Kaprizov and Zuccarello, and the Joel Eriksson-Ek with Boldy and Johansson. And I think Tarasenko is now sick, so I don't even know what they're going to do. I guess you'll have today's game against Anaheim to give you some more data. Who does that leave us for streaming? Do I have to say Ryan Hartman? Ugh. I mean, I like him on the top. If he's playing with Kaprizov, I like him. But, I don't know. This is like, it sounded so good when I just told you to get the Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. But now that we actually look at who you can add, maybe you just go with Ryan Johansson, who had that great run. Did I say Ryan Johansson? He was good at one point. But he's not in the league anymore. Marcus Johansson, his point streak finally ended. I would expect more pointless games to come for Marcus Johansson, but who knows if maybe he gets back up on the top line, though I guess someone has to be a center, and Kaprizov and Zuccarello aren't centers, so I guess that probably won't happen, but maybe Johansson could get on the top power play. I don't know. Maybe. I guess you have Kaprizov, Boldy, Eriksson, Ek, Zuccarello, and Zeev Buium, so probably not. Actually, Zeev Buium is someone I definitely have to mention because he was dropped in a lot of leagues because he wasn't on the top power play, but it looks like he's back. At least he was against San Jose. He had a power play assist, 4 shots. It's just one game. We'll see how that continues to shake out, but I definitely want the top power play guy with Kaprizov, like, unless it's Spurgeon, I guess somehow he just like doesn't do anything ever. So if Buim's out there, he'd be my like number 1 stream, but he's 57% rostered on Yahoo. You're probably not getting him. And then I guess we're looking at a frickin' Ryan Hartman, okay, or a Johansson. So sorry, I wish I had someone better for you here, but I don't really. But at this point, Brock Faber is rostered all over, so you can't get him. So I think that pretty much does it. I don't know. You could grab Spurgeon, but why would you? Okay. Then let's look at the Winnipeg Jets. They go Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. So it's like you get them for the Tuesday. You get 3 off-day games. It ends up being 3 games. But again, I think Winnipeg is a lot like Minnesota in that it's like hard to find someone that you can really rely on that's going to be available to you. Like all the good names are gone. Like Cole Perfetti's back. He hasn't done much. Has 1 assist in 3 games. If he's available, I guess go for Cole Perfetti while he's on the top power play. Maybe he's starting to get dropped, and I would take advantage for those 3 off-day games. And beyond that, who? I don't know. So again, I'm blowing it for everyone here. I apologize. It sounds like I'm losing steam. It's just like the teams, sometimes you don't get the good draws of the teams with the good schedules having interesting players for you. Like there's Nino Niederreiter is always someone. He had a 1 goal, 1 assist game a couple games ago against Vancouver. I'd go Nino for those 3 off-day games. Like, why not? He's kind of like a Blake Coleman, actually. I think Nino and Blake have a lot in common in terms of just what you can expect in fantasy. Like, with enough games, there's going to be one, like, really good game, and there might be a few, like, nothing games in between. Adam Lowry, sometimes someone to grab on Winnipeg. But yeah, sorry, not too much there. I want to end on a good note here. How about some teams that don't only have 2 off-day games overall, but they're early? Okay, so you get them early. Like, for example, the Anaheim Ducks go Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. So I don't mind getting a Monday, Wednesday, and then moving on to someone with a good off day. Move to someone else who has a Friday, Sunday. There's a few of those. With Anaheim, a lot of people are rostered now. Everyone loves the Ducks now, but if like Mikael Granlund is out there for you, he's come back from his injury. He scored a goal in that game against Detroit. I guess the Ducks are so deep that Granlund had to play on a line with Killorn and Nestorenko, it looks like, and on the second power play. So we'll have to see how that kind of shakes out as the week continues. We'll see how things go today against Minnesota. You can get like a Beckett Seneke, who's been playing on the line with Cutter Gauthier and McTavish. I would be interested in him in a deep enough league. You're not getting top power play, but Seneke's also been kind of like really like great or absolutely nothing. It looks like actually if you look at the past couple weeks, it's literally alternating like a good game and then like a nothing, no points, barely any shots. He's had 2 cardio sessions out of his last 4 games, which is definitely not good. That means like no stats at all. But the other 2 games, like one of them was 2 goals and the other one was like an assist and 4 shots. So I guess you just hope you get one of those Monday, Wednesday, hopefully. If there's 2, hopefully get one good Beckett Seneke game. And you never know with a rookie, if like maybe it just takes time before he'll finally get a bit more consistent there. So McTavish is probably not available for you. He's 59% rostered. So maybe in a really shallow league, you can jump onto McTavish. He's been pretty cold lately. So maybe he's going to start getting dropped more, and that could be an opportunity for you. Though McTavish isn't what he once was. Like he used to be kind of like one of their top guys, and now definitely he's been leapfrogged by not Troy Terry. I guess he was always kind of ahead, but Leo Carlson and Cutter Gauthier. Again, like at the end of the day, I just want someone on the top power play if you can, and that's Kreider, Terry, Gauthier, Carlson, Lacombe. So you're not getting any of them out of free agency. So we're kind of looking at the second fiddles here. So yeah, Seneke, McTavish, Granlund. If you can get any of them for like a Monday, Wednesday, I think you could do worse there. Another Monday, Wednesday team is the Edmonton Oilers, who are going to have Zach Hyman back today, which I guess is going to hurt the value potentially of a Jack Roslovic if he's bumped off the top power. But I think that's just a situation to watch and monitor and see how the lines kind of shake out. We do have lines today for Edmonton, but like who knows? Who knows like how it'll last? But I guess like today in practice and for the game tonight, McDavid with Hyman and Savoy as the top line, then Draisaitl, Podkolzin, Roslovic. So I think, like, again, just like usual, give me someone playing with McDavid and Draisaitl. It's not really brain surgery here. Get a Roslovic if you can, and then if not, then a Savoy or a Podkolzin. I think that you could get some points on the Monday or the Wednesday, again, especially against like Buffalo. And then, well, for Washington on Wednesday, it really depends which goalie is playing, right? Because Washington's going to be playing Wednesday, Thursday. So if you can get Charlie Lindgren in net, that would be pretty good. If you're getting Logan Thompson in net, maybe less chance of getting a point there. I mentioned the Columbus Blue Jackets play Monday, Tuesday, so you can go with a Columbus player potentially. I know that Sean Monahan is starting to let some people down if he's getting dropped in your league. He actually has points in 3 straight, but he's been bumped off the top line. So if he's out there now, would be a time to, I think, well, get for the Monday, Tuesday, and then reassess depending how deep your league is. I guess I should be saying Kent Johnson is the person who's been letting people down. He was scratched in a game recently, then came back and did nothing against the Oilers. So I don't know. I still kind of like think he's a really good player, right? Like he didn't just disappear completely. So maybe for a Monday, Tuesday, you can take a chance on Kent Johnson, and worst case, you just drop him on Wednesday, like you probably would have anyways for any of these streams that play out on the busy Thursday, Saturday if you don't have room for them. So that's, I'm just giving a quick tour of these other teams now. I didn't have anything prepped for them. That, like, I guess we can do the Utah Mammoth, who also play Monday, Tuesday over on Utah. Like, you're not going to be getting, obviously, a Keller, Sergachev, Genther, Schmaltz, Cooley, Paterka. Though I have seen Paterka, people getting disappointed in him, though he has scored in 2 straight games. So I guess maybe that cooled the Jets on. I had him scheduled to be a snoozer discussion for the mega show tomorrow. Maybe I can still bring up Paterka and see if, like, maybe now's the time to try to sell high. But I don't know. I don't know what you can do with him at the end of the day. Like, before that, he was on a huge pointless streak. I still like, I like someone playing with good players. And Paterka seems like a good player himself, but in the last game, at least, it looked like he was on the third line with McBain and Kraut. So if that lasts, but will it? Like, Gunther was playing on a line with Hayton and Carconi, and then Cooley with Schmaltz and Keller. Like, I don't know. Utah's trying to figure things out. So I guess we'll see kind of how that shakes out. There's a game coming up. I guess like Utah doesn't play today. Oh, or tomorrow. Okay, so actually, yeah. So we'll, I guess on the mega show, we'll have, this is all the data we'll have going into Monday's game. But then we got a Monday, Tuesday, and we don't really know what the lines will be potentially, which will make it tricky. How did they do in their last game? Utah lost 3-2 to the Islanders yesterday. So maybe that's going to be a sign that they shake things up. I don't know. Okay, we can end with Washington. They go Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. So again, you can add a Monday, Wednesday guy and then move on. Washington's kind of interesting. They have a couple guys in good spots that haven't been doing anything. Like, I'm looking at you, Connor McMichael. I'm not sure exactly how you can get so few points, even though you're playing with, Tom Wilson, who gets points every single game, a Protas, who does stuff once in a while. Protas actually has also been kind of cold lately. I think we called him I wanted to call him a snoozer on the last mega show. Then Brian said he still saw something, but it's been another like nothing week for Alexei Protas. So maybe it's time to move on from him. But at the same time, after Monday, Wednesday, hold for the Monday, Wednesday, maybe even stream him in for the Monday, Wednesday to give that one last chance, or to grab the player that someone else gave up on, because how sweet would it feel if he then does do well and you're like, haha, now I got him. And if he doesn't, then you just drop him after the Monday, Wednesday. But yeah, you're looking at a Protas, a McMichael, could be available, could be in the top 6. Check the lines. I'm seeing that McMichael midway through the last game went to play with Lapierre and Leonard, and they just switched things around. Protas was playing with Sourdif. Who's Sourdif? Does anyone know this person? He was playing on the line with Tom Wilson mid-game. He doesn't show up on the first page on Yahoo when I sort by percent rostered. So I guess you have to go, okay, Justin Sourdif, 0% rostered. He had a goal in that game against Florida. So maybe and 3 shots and 5 hits. Where did he come from? Okay. I don't know. In the deepest of deep leagues, maybe watch the lines. And if Sourdif is still playing with Tom Wilson, maybe that could be interesting. But okay, that'll do it for this episode of Matchup Maximizer. It looks like it was a long one. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Hopefully I gave you some good tips. Obviously, it's the early before commercial break guys that are especially interesting with the 4 off-day games. Good luck in week 7. Hope you get the W. And like I said, Brian and I will be back to you with a mega show tomorrow where we've got a lot of fun things to talk about. So make sure you're subscribed to Keeping Karlsson to get that. Short shifts, all the good stuff. Good luck. See you tomorrow.
If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Here for the Lowe's early Black Friday deals? You're right on time for some of our biggest savings. We're talking up to 50% off select major appliances, plus up to an extra 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Holiday lights going up soon? Select ladders are up to 50% off right now. Get Black Friday prices without the Black Friday crowds. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 11/19. Selection varies by location. Select locations only. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.